Hey guys, this is Apex of War. I got the 1.3 changes here for the God build, which is really a tank melee hybrid build, which is extremely overpowered. And luckily, after patch 1.3, it's still overpowered. Really, nothing's changed with the build from before the patch. The only thing you might notice is that your toxicity points might be a little bit lower than what you're used to from before the patch. Mine went from 300 in this build, dropped down to 292. For whatever reason, still can't figure it out, but it's what it is. But the build itself has not changed. I still focus on strong attacks. The reason why I chose strong attacks, it inherently ignores enemy armor, and it pairs well with heavy armor with bear skull techniques. So both of those combine, and I really like Ren being able to get through enemy defense, their shields, them blocking, that type of stuff. Deadly Precision is always pretty nice to get that occasional instant kill. Protective coating, this is what really makes it a tank build, or one of the aspects that really makes it a good tank build. Protective coatings is really awesome, along with this, so that your oils don't wear off. You don't have to worry about reapplying oils within the same fight. Now, when you go to different enemy types, you've got to change your oils for your enemy type, but within the same fight, you don't have to worry about reapplying oils. Now, you can use tissue transmutation in place of fixative in case you don't mind having to change your oils out. Not a big problem. You can put tissue transmutation in there as well. Now, these two, Killing Spree and Hunter's Instinct, work really well together. Killing Spree increases your crit chance when you get kills, and Hunter's Instinct increases your damage off of crit when your adrenaline points are at max. So those two work really well together. Acquired Tolerance, Heightened Tolerance, both of those used to really boost your toxicity level for Euphoria. Synergy here, that gets me the 60% attack power bonuses on my Greater Red mutagens. I don't use any special mutagens, they're all just Greater Red mutagen, but you know, the synergy is what allows those 60% attack power buffs. Of course, metabolic control and bear skull techniques to finish it out. Now, going over to my equipment here, I'm using the Toussaint Steel Sword. I still really like it. I like the burn effect. It seems to proc more than 15% of the time. The Silver Sword here, the Erendite, it is undisputably the best silver sword in the game. If you have the opportunity to get it, definitely get your hands on it. Now, I'm using the Grandmaster Legendary Toussaint Armor. There's another heavy armor set that you can get. It's out of Blood and Wine, one of the quest lines there. You can get a really good heavy armor set out of a quest line. I can't think of the name of it right away, but I'll put it in the description below. Anyhow, that's a really good alternative to this build. And I'm also using the Greater Glyph of Ken. What's nice about having such high damage resistances is it takes a lot to pop your shield, so you get even more out of increasing your Ken sign intensity because of that. Now, like I said, this build is a tank melee hybrid. It's got plenty of both, to be quite honest. It's got a lot of melee DPS, as you can see here. I'm just cutting through these guards like a hot knife through butter. So this build definitely puts out a lot of damage, so don't be fooled when you see that it can tank. Don't think, oh, it's just a tank build, that's all it's good for. This build can really put out some damage, and I'll show you exactly how much damage in a little bit here towards the end of the video. Now, this build is part tank, so let's put it to the test and see how well it tanks. Now, keep in mind, these guys hit extremely hard. If you're not using this tank build, it's pretty much a one-shot. So, as you see, they kind of tickle me a little bit, let them hit me around. And what's nice about using the Ekimar decoction in this build is that this health that I've lost here, you can regain it in no time. Well, that's all fine and dandy for a tank build, but let's see how it stacks up to other builds. I've got my sign build here, and I attempted the same thing, just let them hit me around and see how far I can get. So let's piss this guy off.
Come on.
Yep. But Apex of War, I don't plan on fighting guards. What about other things? Yep, What about cockatrices? Yep. What about random bandits? Yep, I'd say it's pretty good. For shits and giggles, I want to see how much damage I could do in a single hit with this build, so I set up this last segment here where I popped the Thunderbolt and a Marlboro Forest Potion a little bit earlier. I let the toxicity die off from it, but the effects are still active, and I was able to pop my 4th decoction finally. Now the 3 staple decoctions with this build is the Ekimara, the Water Hag, and the Arcos decoction. The 4th one's really up to you. It could be personal preference, it could be situational. So for this one I popped the Doppler decoction, try to get some extra damage on a crit, and as you see here I'm using this build, nothing's changed, just using the same build that I showed you a little bit earlier. Now at this point I am just building up my adrenaline points and building up the charges on the Erendite sword, another reason why this sword is so awesome. Now I've got 3 adrenaline points, full charges on my sword. Now I go up for the big one. 141,000, it's not too bad. Anyhow, I appreciate you guys watching. Hit the like and subscribe buttons below. I'll be bringing in some more Witcher 3 stuff, especially with patch 1.3. I got some other build changes coming up for you, so stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching, guys.